Today is the day. Either this old Volvo drives home under its own power, or I'm calling a flatbed. Let's find out.
Sun on the hood and the paint's worn thin. Dust on the mirrors, but the sky shines. Old steel humming like a faithful hymn. Rolling down a road I've always been. Raise that wheel and let the engine sing. Every mile's a little victory. Keeping these wheels turning any way I can.
She fires up like she's done it 1,000 times before, which she probably has. I wipe the windshield, check the mirrors, or what's left of them, and pull out onto the road. So far, so good. Which honestly makes me nervous.
Gears keep talking in a gravel tone. Stories in the rattle only I've known. Fields drift by in a lazy line. Hope is riding in this crooked spine. Raise that wheel and let the engine sing. Every mile's a little victory. Keeping these wheels turning any way I can. Working man rolling through this land. Hands been fighting just to make it start. Nights in the cold with a stubborn heart. Now the road lies open like a second chance. Praying this old rig makes the distance. Raise that wheel.
At 50 kilometers an hour, it feels like 70. The cab shakes, the steering has opinions of its own, and there's a sound from somewhere underneath that I'm choosing to ignore. You can push her to 65, even 70 if you want to, but 60 feels like the sweet spot, fast enough to not be a traffic hazard, slow enough to not become one. Comfort was clearly not a priority in the 70s. First dry road in weeks. Swedish west coast, Bohuslän. Granite hills, brown fields, and bare oaks lining the road like old men watching traffic. The sun is low, but actually warm for the first time since November, and the asphalt is that perfect winter dry grey where you can hear every crack under the tyres. No ice, no slush, no spray from oncoming trucks. Just clean tarmac winding through open farmland and rocky outcrops down towards the sea. Couldn't have picked a better day to bring an old truck home. After a while I can feel the engine starting to lose a bit of power. The hills feel steeper than they really are. She sounds good, but tired. I glance at the temperature gauge and it's buried at the bottom. Not hot, cold. So is it actually warm? Is it cooking itself? Is the gauge dead? Does it even have oil? It's not smoking anymore either, which is somehow more worrying than the smoke. At this point, there are too many question marks and not enough answers, so I pull over to see what's going on.
rök inte så mycket det sista.
Nej, precis. Och tempmätaren. Kanske pressar den lite mycket, men det var kul att testa. Men fan, få upp den över 70 km i timmen, det är ju svårt.
Ja, men jag såg ju. Jag kommer inte riktigt i kraften på mattanläggningen där.
Vatten. Så det funkar fortfarande.
Ja,
Olja är det. Då är det nog det jag tänkte skulle hända. Dieselfiltren sätter sig för att det är så mycket skit. Det är gammal diesel, vet du.
På gamla tankar.
Ja.
Nej, filten där då.
Nej. Hallå.
The diesel filters are starting to clog up, but we don't have any spares with us, so the only plan is to keep going and try to limp it home. But when we stop for a bit, it actually starts to run really nice again. Most likely all the crap just settles back down in the bottom of the filters, so the flow comes back, at least for a while. The whole drive goes fine, suspiciously fine. No warning lights, no strange smells, no sudden loss of anything important. The only thing I can feel is the fuel filters starting to load up a bit. She gets lazier on the hills, but every time I stop and let it sit for a moment, the flow comes back and she pulls again. I pull into the yard and the first thing I do is test the crane. It works. Then the hydraulics for the bed. They work too. The whole thing tips like it should. For about 10 minutes I feel like I've actually won something. That feeling is not going to last. Next morning I call my neighbour. He runs a small fleet, excavators, dumpers, the works, and more importantly, he has a proper pressure washer, the kind that doesn't just clean things, it reveals them. The next trip is just a short hop down the road to the wash bay. Sun's out again, dry asphalt, Bohuslän doing its best postcard impression, and I'm still convinced this is going to be a good day. A quick clean, maybe a few ugly surprises, but nothing I can't weld my way out of. Somewhere in the back of my head, there's a little voice saying, "Are you sure you really want to see what's under all that grease?" But I turn the radio up, ignore it, and keep driving.
Sun on the hood and the paint's worn thin. Dust on the mirrors, but the sky shines in. Old steel humming like a faithful hymn. Rolling down a road I've always been. Raise that wheel and let the engine sing. Every mile's a little victory. Keeping these wheels turning any way I can. Working man rolling through this land. Gears keep talking in a gravel tone. Stories in the rattle only I've known. Fields drift by in a lazy line. Hope is riding in this crooked spine. Raise that wheel and let the engine sing. Every mile's a little victory. Keeping these wheels turning any way I can. Working man rolling through this land. Hands been fighting just to make it start. Nights in the cold with a stubborn heart. Now the road lies open like a second chance. Praying this old red makes the distance. Raise that wheel and let the engine sing. Every mile's a little victory. After all the work, maybe I'll reach that end. Keeping these wheels turning till they bring me home again.
With a turbo nozzle and way too much enthusiasm, I start stripping decades of dirt, rust, and road filth off this truck. Layer by layer, the old Volvo starts to look like something again. But under all that protection, the truth was waiting. After a very enthusiastic wash, all the grease, dust, and old road dirt finally came off. And with it, my illusions about this frame. Under the shine, the truth shows up. Proper holes in the rail, and steel that's gone from solid Swedish iron to crisp bread in exactly the wrong place. This isn't just surface rust anymore. This is the kind of damage that decides whether a truck has a future or becomes parts for someone else's project. So now the question isn't, how do I make it pretty? It's, Can I save it at all? And if I can, how much madness is it going to take? After the wash, I turn the key, expecting the same old diesel racket, and she almost delivers. She fires, catches for a second, then dies. Tries again, stumbles, gives a little smoke, then quits like she's had enough of me. At that point it feels pretty clear the filters are loading up again. Years of sludge and rust shaken loose on the drive, now trying to live inside the fuel system. I poke around a bit, realise this isn't a 5-minute fix, and decide to do the only smart thing for once in this episode. Drop the wrench, go home, and sleep on it.
There's a bucket full of old bolts on the bench by the boat. Threads have gone, but I've used every one before. Metric UNC, whatever fits in my hole. If it holds for one more season, then it's good for the soul. Rust in the frame, paint burned thin. Every fix I've done is screwed right into my skin. From frozen February nights to July sun's glare. If it broke on the highway, I've been laying in the gravel there. I don't pray for miracles, I pray for grit, for a socket that bites and a torch that'll hit.
Hey!
This is for the old boats, rusted threads and red hot steel, for the busted knuckle warriors who turn pain into a deal. For the roadside fixes, ratchet straps and fence wire art, legendary engineering born from it's too late to fall apart. We don't have a showroom, we just got faith and grime, holding old machines together, one bad idea at a time. Seen a leaf spring snap where the bracket gave in, so I stacked two worn out blades at a plate of 8mm tin. Drilled new holes through the rust in hopes, tightened down a mismatched set of second-hand bolts. I patched fuel lines with hose from a tractor's brake, stole clamps off the scrap pile just to make it awake. Bled a diesel on the shoulder while the truck screamed past, with a lighter in my teeth and diesel running down the glass. You can keep your warranty in showroom shine. I'll take grease in my coffee and problems that are mine. This it's for the old boats, rusted threads and red hot steel, for the busted knuckle warriors who turn pain into a deal. For the roadside fixes, ratchet strats and fence wire art, legendary engineering born from it's too late to fall apart. We don't have a blueprint, we've just got guts and time, holding old machines together, one mad idea at a time. We learned to cut new threads where the old ones died, and made in a hole where fine pitch used to hide. Washer stacks like poker chips under tired springs, zip ties holding more than they ever should on anything. We welded cracks by phone light with wind in our face, turn junkyard brackets into something that could brace. If it gets you off the shoulder and it gets you back home, then that ugly little fix is a masterpiece of chrome. They call it bodge work, I call it one more day for a truck, for a digger that someone couldn't just throw away. Old Swedish steel and some farmer's brain. That's the reason half these ghosts still roll in the rain. So when the new world laughs at the state of my rig, they don't see every roadside battle that made it this big. Every scar in the chassis is a story I own. Every sea stubborn fastener that I finally thrown. This is for the old boats, rusted threads and red hot steel. For the busted knuckle heroes who know what's fake and what is real. For the midnight patches, angle grinder sparks in the dark. Legendary engineering born from just get it to the next farm. We don't need permission, we just got fire and drive, keeping ancient iron breathing, dragging dead weight back to life. So here's to every socket that slipped and split your skin, to every roadside jack stand made of sleepers and sin. When the last old engine finally takes its rest, we'll hang those rusty bolts up like medals on our chest. Old bolts and broken knuckles, that's our hymn tonight. Old machines and stubborn people taking one more fight. And it's good for the soul. Rust in the frame, hate burned thin. Every fix I've done is screwed right into my skin. From frozen February nights to July sun's glare. If it broke on the highway, I've been laying in a gravel there. I don't pray for miracles, I pray for grit, for a socket that bites and a torch that'll hit. This is for the old boats, rusted threads and red hot steel. For the busted knuckle warriors who turn pain into a deal. For the roadside fixes, the ratchet straps and fence wire art. Legendary engineering born from it's too late to fall apart. We don't have a showroom, we just got faith and grime, holding old machines together one bad idea at a time. Seen a leaf spring snap where the bracket gave in, so I stacked two worn out blades and a plate of 8mm tin. Drilled new holes through the rust in hopes, tightened down a mismatched set of second-hand bolts. I patched fuel lines with hose from a tractor's brake, stole clamps off the scrap pile just to make it awake. Bled a diesel on the shoulder while the truck screamed past, with a lighter in my teeth and diesel running down the glass. You can keep your warranty in showroom shine. I'll take grease in my coffee. call it bodge work. I call it one more day for a truck, for a digger that someone couldn't just throw away. Old Swedish steel in some farmer's brain. That's the reason half these ghosts still roll in the rain. So when the world laughs at the state of my rig, they don't see every roadside man that made it this big. Every scar in the chassis is a story I own. Every sea stubborn fastener that I finally thrown. This is for the old folks, rusted threads and red hot steel. For the busted knuckle heroes who know what's fake and what is real. For the midnight patches, angle grinders, old iron wakes up with a shiver moan. Cold diesel coughing like it's whispering my name.
I work my way through the system, filter, lines, injectors, cracking fittings and pumping until diesel finally shows up where it's supposed to. Turn the key and she fires. Not gracefully, not on the first try, but she runs.
Every rattle, every shake says you're still alive. This might be the last run home. One more road, one more load of chrome. Every mile in the steel and bone. All those gears I've ground alone. Now the springs can't rest, the frame can't sigh. Bolts stop screaming, rubber runs dry. This is the last run home, and we earned it, me and this old truck of mine. Rust in the rails where the strength used to be. Broken leaf bolts hanging like a tired old knee. Hydraulic oil bleeding down the side of the bed. Every stain on the frame is a word never said. She still pulls strong when I ask her to. But the road keeps asking more than she can do. This might be the last run home. One more road, one more load of chrome. Every mile in the steel and bone. All those gears I've ground alone. Now the springs can't rest, the frame can't sigh. Both stop screaming, rubber runs dry. If this is the last run home, then we earned it, me and this old truck of mine. Fuel lines choking on dirty years. Filters clogging up with stories and fears. I cracked one bolt and the head snaps clean, so I cut new threads where the old ones have been. Turn the key again, let the airline sing. If she fires once more, I'll see what tomorrow brings. 'Cause if this is the last run home, let the engine hum like carved in stone. Every scar in the cab I own, every hill we've climbed alone. Let the springs lie down, let the frame unwind, let the tight old drums fall quiet behind. If this is the last run home, we went the distance, this old truck and I. Parked in the yard with the handbrake tight. Steel still warm in the fading light. Maybe I'll fix her, maybe she's done. But we made it on our last run.
The last 100 meters before my yard, the engine goes soft, losing power, stumbling. The filters are done. They need replacing, that much is obvious now. But honestly, the filters are the least of my problems. The frame is rotten, a spring mount is broken, the fuel system is held together with a bodge bolt and stubbornness. So what now? Fix it? Sell it? Scrap it? Was this the last trip this old Volvo will ever make? I don't know yet, but I do know I need a break from this truck.